Elden Ring Nightreign just dropped and it's already become more controversial than pineapple pizza. It seems like there's two very conflicting opinions here. You got some people saying it's the worst thing since Marmite and others comparing it to the Holy Grail. So in this video, I'm going to cover all the good and the bad to answer the question. In total, there's 3 days. During the day, you have to get as strong as possible by killing enemies and looting buildings, while avoiding a zone that forces you into a smaller section of the map, kinda like Fortnite. In this section, you will then fight one of the night bosses, and after you defeat it, you move on to the next day. Once you reach the final day, you fight one of 8 Night Lords, which you choose before going into a game. If you die, teammates can revive you by beating you to death, and the only way to actually fail is if all 3 of you die during one of the night bosses, whereas if you die to a side boss, you just respawn and pick up where you left off. You can also choose whether or not you want to play with friends, randoms, or by yourself. Apparently nobody else wanted to wake up at midnight to play this game, so most of the time I played solo, and it was not a good idea. Why is there 3 health bars? It's safe to say this game is intended for 3 players, and that's where the controversy comes from. The co-op in this game has been the largest complaint, because unless you have friends, you'll be stuck with randoms, and the only way to communicate with them is with map pings, which they just ignore. And for some reason, there's no voice chat, so trying to get your team's attention is like yelling into a black hole. That being said, I don't think that means the game is bad. A lot of complaints I've seen is from teammates wandering off and dying, but if having bad teammates makes a game bad, then how the hell are games like Siege and Valorant still going? I do think this game could benefit from some better ways to communicate, but at the same time, it's not the game's fault your teammates don't want to be near you. Co-op aside, let's now talk about the gameplay, and aside from being rage-inducing, it's pretty fun. The combat is essentially just Elden Ring crossed with Sekiro, and the boss fights in this game were very mixed. Some were just an absolute joke, and others would put the fear of God back into you. In some cases, bosses would also just choose one person and focus them. I'm not sure what kind of beef this guy has with the bell-bearing hunter, but clearly it runs deep. Now there's also 8 different classes to choose from. You've got the Wilder, Guardian, Iron Eye, Raider, Recluse, Executioner, Duchess, and Revenant. Each class comes with 3 unique skills, allowing you to build walls, shoot arrows, become a furry. The classes are really varied, and it's definitely one of the areas where the game shines the most. Where it doesn't shine though is fresh content. A lot of the weapons and bosses in this game are from Elden Ring. I mean, just look at Margit. Apparently, fighting him 3 times in the main game wasn't enough, because now he's back for round 4. He really is the soldier that doesn't quit. Speaking more about the bosses, every time a night boss kills you, you have to start from the beginning. Now to some, this can be frustrating, especially if you keep getting stuck with clueless teammates. But to me, that's just part of the experience. Complaining that a Souls game is difficult is like complaining about milk in your cereal. I get that in some circumstances it can be annoying, especially if your teammates leave mid-match. But that's the problem with all multiplayer games. It's not as if Nightreign invented rage quitting. But that's just my opinion. Overall, I'd give this game a solid 8 out of 10. The only problems with this game is how much content is recycled and how few ways they are to communicate. The combat and overall gameplay more than makes up for it, and I think it's definitely worth the £35 price tag. If you've enjoyed this short video, then subscribe and let me know in the comments what you think of this game. But with all that out of the way, bye bye!